Hello everyone and welcome to Rama Astrology for a reading and foray into Vedic astrology for the upcoming week. Choose a brighter day with Vedic astrology to guide you over the sea of life. Visit my website zidamastrology.com to see the options available for personalized reports, for creation of your Kundali or birth chart, and any other customized requests that you may have. Please note that I do not have an online payment system because of the scammers out there. I have delinked my site from the PayPal and other systems so that if anyone should ask you to pay online for me, then it's not me. Please be wary of the scammers out there. Here we have the Kundali or the transits for the week beginning July 8th to 14th. And what we see really is not too many changes from last week. Venus and Mars remains in Cancer, Saturn and Pluto remains in Capricorn, Jupiter in Aquarius, Neptune in Pisces, and Uranus in Aries. And these planets, with the exception of Uranus, all these planets on this side here, they are retrograde. Uranus is not retrograde and will not go retrograde until August 20th of this year. We have Mercury making a change, moving from Taurus into its own home in Gemini. He has to keep company with Sun, and Mercury is all about communication. Mercury is about networking. Mercury is about speech, so that speech becomes important here, and the Sun may have a lot to do with it depending on how strong or weak Sun is. Sun can brighten your speech for people to listen to you, for mass meetings to be, part of your whole aura for the week, or Sun could blind what you're saying and block what you're saying by giving you too much brightness, so that you have to put some kind of blockage in front of you for Sun not to overwhelm you. K2 is still here in Scorpio, the natural eighth house of secrets, of occult, of transitions and transformations, of southern happenings, southern events. So that as I noted, you do not have much movement, but the movement that you have do mean something, and this is why I use the tarot to clarify the movements or the transits of planets, as the slower planets do not really move too often, so that you get the same chart, for week after week. What I would like for you to note here, though, is that Mars here is being billed as the Atmakaraka, and the Atmakaraka is the planet that tells you what you were born to do. And for Mars, you were born to probably fight for something, to fulfill a desire. So Mars holds that position for this week as the Atmakaraka, the vehicle that encourages and supports and enables the Atmakaraka to complete and fulfill its desire is the Amatya Karaka. And the Amatya Karaka here is Sun, and Sun is with Mercury. So are you going to complete this fight not through physical action but through speech? We need some clarification, and the tarot spread upcoming will tell you that. We also have here Mercury is in Mrigasira until the 12th of July. And Mrigasira is a gentle and soft planet, but its ruler is Mars in the Navamsha. And that action that might be debilitated and weakened, you might want to, just have an aggressive kind of conversation, not a subtle one. So you need to look at that, and then it will be escalated when Mercury goes into Ardra, which is the star of sorrow. Its deity is Lord Rudra, which is an avatar of Lord Shiva, the great destroyer. So we just need to be careful of the speech that we probably procure or comes from us for this week, because it may not be what we want to achieve through what we say to others or how we say it to others. So let us look at the tarot spread and see how best we can learn and see the potential pitfalls or outcomes for this week. Okay, let us see what we have this week for the selection of cards for the week beginning July 8th, 2021. And the first card that we have selected this week is Venus. Venus is the ruler of the natural second and sixth house, which is Taurus and Libra. Taurus is all about resources. Libra is about justice and balance. Our second card for the week would be the Bhava that we will focus our energies on. And the Bhava that we are supposed to focus on is the first house again. This is a repeat from last week where the first house, but we had the planet Moon. But the first house is all about yourself, all about your physical health. So let's see what energies the deities are giving us to deal with this house this week. Oh, it's a repeat again from last week. Fire. Fire was all about Mars last week. Fire was all about action and passion. But this week, fire has to contend with Venus. And Venus sits with Mars in Cancer. Venus is not really appreciated in Cancer because the Moon and Venus really do not connect too well. And Mars is sitting there debilitated, so that the chaos might continue a little bit with more action and more heat this week. The deity that we will gather for this week is Sri Ram. Sri Ram is the king of Dharma, and he is there this week to guide us, protect us, help us, bless us, help us to use our karma, help us to build up our karma. The tarot spread that I'm going to use this week will be the Tetractys spread, because I just feel it's a comprehensive spread, and something tells me that we need to be a little comprehensive this week to deal with Venus and Mars still in Cancer. And the Tetractys spread deals with, the cosmic influences, the elements, the light and dark in our lives, the foundation that we're going to form for the week, and what we should be focusing or targeting our energies on. And the first card that we are going to choose for this week in the Tetractys spread is the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords. This card is aligned to air, intellect, Mercury. The second card is the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles. The third card is the Knight of Wands. So right away we have three elements here in our reading. And we go to the fourth card, the Two of Swords. So again, Mercury and emotions and communication has shown its head. We have the Five of Swords. Wow, Mercury really is important this week. The next card is the Queen of Pentacles. So are we thinking or being emotional about resources that we have or don't have? The Ten of Wands. What burdens are we carrying on our backs? What burdens are we bringing in from the past, or is it in the present? We have the Queen of Swords. Mercury, intellect, emotion, friendship, networking. Wow. Eight of Swords. Wow. Mercury. We really have to concentrate and see what is happening in that house for you. The final card that we have this week is the Six of Cups. So the foundation for this entire reading this week is emotions. What are emotions about communication, and what are emotions about our resources? Okay, so here we have a recap of the selection of the Tetractys spread, and you would see that swords appear 5 times in this card, a spread of 10 cards, so 50%. And that we need to look then at what swords really represent for us this week. Swords is aligned to air, air is aligned to Mercury, Mercury is aligned to Gemini and Virgo, and Mercury is currently in Gemini with the ascendant and sun. So is our communication going to be heated, or is it going to be just covered by the illumination of the sun? We'll find out. Okay, let us go into a little more details with the energy cards that were selected. And let us start with Venus. And Venus tells you to spiritually cherish, mentally enjoy, and physically charm. Use charm. Check art and beauty as the ways to enjoy and cherish whatever is in your life at this point in time. The good times will come from this. Pleasures, you would have the pleasures from it. Venus is all about refinement, beauty, poetry, sexuality, creativity, artistry, and manners. So that in this week, Venus is telling you these are the luxuries and the things you should focus on, that you should cherish to bring you out of the funk that Mars conjoining with the planet Venus brings to your psyche. As we saw last week, the first house is who you are, your desires, your actions, what you do for yourself. Vedic astrology also focuses on your health, your physical attributes, your personality, your strength, your self-esteem, your disposition, and your appearance. And probably people will find beauty, Venus, in your appearance, in your actions, in how you speak with them, and how you treat them. So that looking at the first house, you're not only looking at yourself, but you're looking at how you treat others in the world and how you treat others around you, so that this can be the focus or the targets for your enjoyment in this week beginning July 8th. We have fire again as the energy underground to us to help us to deal with the issues of the first house and with Venus in Cancer. And fire, as I explained last week, fire is really at a weakened stage right now because fire is alluding to Mars. Mars is debilitated in Cancer. He's weak. So that we may not have the passion or the drive, we might have not have the willpower to do what we are required to do with ourselves and to others to gain that luxury, that beauty that Venus wants to give us. So let us focus, let us understand what strength we have this week and what strength we don't, so that we can work towards a reasonable goal that will make us happy, so that some part of this logic, some part of this can be achieved. Sri Rama, who is the king of Dharma, whose blessings provide fidelity in marriage, obedience as a virtue, security, name, and status. He also tells us to give adherence to truth, in that we need to keep our word. So that what are we going to keep our word to? Are we going to keep it to ourselves? Are we going to keep it to others? So that this might be some of the issues that we have to deal with that may show itself in the week beginning July 8th for us to focus on and to throw our energies upon. So we have the material world beginning with the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords occupy the fire element that we depend upon to move things forward, to be action oriented. Fire is our creative force, our will, our ambition, you and your present situation. So your present situation is that you are sitting as a Page of Swords on fire. The Page of Swords has a double-edged sword. And which way are we going? Do we have the experience to move forward with all this action? Or is it that we still need training? Is it that we still need to work, to build a base, to get qualified and become professionals? What is our present position for the action that we want to commit to for the week of July 8th to July 14th? The Two of Pentacles sits on the air element in the material world. The air element is all about our current strategies and thoughts, our challenges concerning goals. The air element in this tetractys spread is a Jupiter-based unit, so that the Two of Pentacles, which is earth, which is grounded, which is our resources. We have put our resources in a particular position that could go either way, because air can go in any direction depending on who is stronger. So is it that you are strong enough to hold on to these resources, or is it that the environment around you is going to take it away from you or send it to somewhere else to either grow or deplete? How strong are you? And this is why I continue to say that your chart is important. Is Mars strong in your natal chart, so that in Mars's transit you even have a strong foundation to hold on to something that you have earned or something that was given to you? Points to the root causes of our issue for the week beginning July 8th. It's an exploration of your emotions. So you have fire on top of water, and you need to know all the facts and figures before you make a decision, before you jump to conclusion. You need to know the details of anything that you are looking to do for the week beginning July 8th before you take action. The sun is the graha of this card, and the sun is in Gemini right now with the ascendant and Mercury. And the sun can either illuminate you, give you brightness for the world to see you, or the sun could overpower you to hide you behind its brightness. So what it is you really want for this week? What is the action that you really want to take? And everything points to action, intelligence, emotions, communication. Mercury, Venus. These are the two planets that are key to you achieving what you want to achieve in this week. The Two of Swords tells us how we cope with everyday life and how we will be coping with everything that will be happening during the week of July 8th to the 14th. The Two of Swords is a card that is aligned to Venus, and Venus is where? Venus is in Cancer with Mars. Remember, Venus was also chosen as this week. So this is where we have to focus. We have to focus on coping every day rather than trying to enter something new, maybe, or trying to complete something that you just can't seem to find the time to do. Focus on what you have every day. As you get up every day for the week, focus on what is in front of you. Don't close your eyes to what is in front of you. Open your eyes so you can see that the path is clear, that you have cleared the waters behind you, you have cleared the rough waters and the mountainous areas behind you. You yourself are holding two swords to your throat. No one is holding you, you are not chained to it. So there is no pressure on you. You will be putting pressure on yourself. Open your eyes to see what is in front of you and focus on coping with everyday life. Five of Swords hold the position of creator in the tetractys spread for you this week. And Five of Swords is all about yourself. Is all about looking after number one, not looking at what is behind you or in front of you, wasting resources. You're losing out on what is right there in front of you. It can be bullying tactics, intimidation. There's a serious conflict in your creative juices, you know. What is the new direction that you want? What is the exploration that drives you in this new direction? You need to be enlightened as to whether you need to look after yourself, or you need to self-sacrifice, or you need to stand up for yourself, you need to fight for your own corner, whether you lift your hands in challenge or intimidation. What is it that you want to create? What is the image of yourself that you want to create? Because remember, we are looking at the first house. We are looking at you and how you treat others and what you do about each other. So that the Five of Swords, I mean, you can't get a better card to align to the first house to give you that choice. The choice is yours. Do you lift your hands in victory and waste resources like the two swords at your feet? Do you lift your hands in victory and leave those who helped you behind and have them dejected? What is your choice for yourself for this week? The Queen of Pentacles holds the position of sustainer in this tetractys spread for this week. And the sustainer is what helps you maintain a balanced life. And what helps you maintain a balanced life is to not be greedy. You have worked for what you have achieved. If you worked hard, then your rewards are abundant. If you didn't work hard, if you were lazy and expected everything to be handed to you, then you will not be sitting like the Queen of Pentacles with uh, possessions cradled lovingly. You know, you would not be helping to balance yourself by wanting more than you can achieve because you are not willing to work for it. So the Queen of Pentacles works for you if you work for yourself. It goes back to the alignment with the Five of Swords and yourself and the first Bhava, which was chosen for this week. Saturn is there as the Lord of Karma and Justice, so you can only get what you work for. Wands takes the position of destroyer for this week. And destroyer is that you know what you have to do to move forward. You know what needs to be removed. And the Ten of Wands shows that you are on the home stretch. You're nearly there. But you have bent your head into these wands and looking down. You are not looking forward. You are not looking at what is ahead of you. You are so burdened with what you are holding in your hands and clutching it so fiercely to your chest that you can't see beyond your feet. You can't see beyond one step ahead. So that you need to use Jupiter, the Graha of this card, use his wisdom, use his guidance, use his teachings to understand that you are your worst enemy. You are destroying yourself. Remove these ones from in front of you, put them to the side of it. You don't need to let them go, but you can put them to the side of you so that your sight is clear. This again aligns to the Two of Swords. You have blinded yourself in the Two of Swords. You hold two swords to your chest. It's not chained to you. So you are your worst enemy. You are destroying yourself. That the cosmic forces are bringing to you for this week is the Queen of Swords, the rational, logical, intellectual individual who will face up to the truth no matter how painful, that you will abide by the rules, that you would find the funny side of the situation, that you will keep a clear head. You know, this is all about intellect. Intellect, A, Mercury, Gemini. So that again, Mercury comes into play. Venus is the Graha of this card. So Venus and Mercury really plays an important part for you today in this week beginning July 8th, and it might really be in your interest to request your report to find out where Venus and Mercury is posited for you in your chart. Is it in the first house, the 12th house, the ninth house, the fourth house? Where is Venus posited for you so that you will know where emotions cannot be waylaid, where you have to use logic and reason to get through with this week? The cards this week are really aligned. We come to the Eight of Swords, which shows again restrictions, binding. You know that the sharp swords are behind you, yet you have closed your eyes and remained blindfolded to what you have already passed. You have passed those sharp objects. They are not touching you right now, they are behind you. Nothing is holding you back but your own fears, your own imagination of what could be. You are feeling condemned, you are feeling psychological pressures, but these are brought upon by yourself. No one is around you holding you. The rough waters are not even covering your feet. You are there standing on the rock and you are not doing anything. You know, you are not trying to get free, you are just passive. So that this is the darkness. You need to take the action. You need to get out of that funk. You need to utilize Mars even in his weakened state to take some action. And if it is that Mars is weak in your chart, then clearly this is how you will continue to feel, that you are under pressure, that you are bound, that you can't see in front of you, that nobody has your back, that everything is just, sticking it to you. So that you need to understand your chart, you need to request your report to understand where you are at and how you can move forward. The Six of Cups is the foundational card for this reading for the week of July 8th to the 14th. And the Six of Cups is all about emotion, emotional stability. The past, your childhood, how happy you were, the material resources that you have, your openness, your sharing, your young and playful and youthful courtships, memories, you're reminiscing. This is emotional security for you. This is a card of well-being and giving and nostalgia, so that we can only get these things if we do what we have to do. We have to work. We have to take ourselves out of the bindings emotionally. We have to open our eyes to what is in front of us. We have to understand that we have passed a lot of obstacles and mysteries, that what is ahead of us is not what is under us. We don't need to see just our feet. We need to take off the bindings that we have around us and within us. We need to use our emotions sparingly. Is it that we have emotional overload? Is it that we are not using enough emotions or not understanding what we have contributed and what we have earned and what we have worked for? Mars comes into play again with this card. It's the Graha of this card. So that yes, Mars is weak or debilitated in Cancer, and Mars is not about emotion. Venus and Mars in Cancer is sitting on the mother of emotions, Moon. So that let us think about it. And please remember that these readings and this analysis is just the mere summary of my initial thoughts. It is not an in-depth reading. There is so much more that these cards and the Kundali can tell you. And you could only find that out with a report from ZenaMastrology.com, a full report where you will find the details given for all cards and all Kundalis for all readings. We come back to the wrap up of the Kundali and the Tarot, and reading through the tarot spread tetractys, you would understand that I said that Mercury and Venus seems to be the focus. And I also indicated that how you communicate may be the key to what you achieve. And Mercury is in Mrigashira Nakshatra from the 8th to the 12th. Now, this nakshatra is a soft and gentle nakshatra. Mars is its lord, but Mars is debilitated, so that you may want to be very aggressive in your speech, you may want to be very egotistical, you may want to be very materialistic in what you say, so that you need to look at that. You need to look at your speech patterns to yourself and to others. Mercury moves into Ardra Nakshatra for the 12th to the 14th in Gemini, and Ardra is a very destructive and chaotic uh, nakshatra. It is a symbol taken by the teardrop, so that there's a lot of sorrow and tears falling in this nakshatra. Lord Shiva is the deity of this nakshatra. So that again, you're moving from one to the next, but the energy seems to be escalating. So now that potentially you understand that your speech is important for this week, and how you do it is the make or break for you in what you achieve and what you move forward to. You can hold back, you can take a second view, you can take a deep breath before you open your mouth to say anything. Likewise, Venus is in Cancer in Ashlesha Nakshatra, and Ashlesha is a nakshatra that spans the Gandanta point, the point where you are falling so that you have to understand where you are seeking things from, what your emotion level is, how you are going to deal with it. They are both aligned to emotions, to the Six of Cups. So look at Mercury, look at Venus in your chart. If you don't have a chart, request one so that you can understand the targeted houses or bhavas, the areas specified in your specific chart that you need to look at. As with everything, I would like to end with Bhagwan's blessing to you and for you to stay the course with me on this, my next video presentation to you on YouTube. I really would like to thank you for your subscription and your liking my videos. I hope that our communication will continue, not as bad as the week upcoming, but that we will have good communication. We will learn and develop together. I thank you, thank you, thank you so much, and thank you for subscribing.